Hey, what's up everyone? Don Maguccione here, continuing the series related to foam rolling and myofascial release. So I hope you enjoyed the last post where we explained pliability, that concept, and explored some techniques for the hamstrings in particular. So today we're going to keep rolling on and we're going to do the quads. So here's an overall pro tip for the concept of foam rolling and myofascial release. So we've been getting little tips and helpers along the way. So for today, the tip is make sure any release technique that you're doing with a foam roller, with a different tool, make sure that you're not rolling directly over a joint or a bone. So I'll show you what I mean. So say like we'll use a softball for example. So if you were with the hamstring, you don't want to put the softball directly behind your knee, because really you're not going to be doing any sort of release on a bone. A bone is a bone, and if anything you're just going to cause some pain and discomfort. So for example, if I was using this tool here, which we'll explain a little bit more when we talk about the quad, I'm not going to use it to roll out my kneecap, for example. That's not going to do anything for me, and it's going to be very uncomfortable. Same thing, like if I'm doing something with my calf, I don't really want to be rolling up and down my shin bone. So that applies to any area of your body. So make sure, same thing if you're doing your calves, if you're doing your hips and your back, which we'll get into next time, you don't want to be applying pressure with any sort of roller or assisting apparatus onto a bone. So hopefully that makes sense. So you want to release and relax your muscles and work toward that concept of pliability, but you don't want to be applying that pressure directly to your bones or your joints. All right, so for the quads, we talked last time about the hamstrings, and the recommendation was to start with the foam roller so you had a little bit more control over the pressure you were applying as compared to something like a softball. So for the quads, I'm actually going to recommend the opposite. So I'll show you what I mean. So anytime that you're doing foam rolling, it's nice to be in the seated position here. If you've got a couch, if you can lean up against that, that might be helpful too, so you don't have to completely hold yourself up. With the quads, so make sure we can see this. I'll show the foam roller in a minute, but the idea of if you're starting sort of from square one and you're just like, okay, like I know my muscles are tight, I want to get some pliability in there, you want to be in control of the pressure that you're applying. So even though a softball is hard, you are in complete control. So you can sit, you can say, okay, relax, I'm going to shake out my muscle here, get this going. Even though the softball is hard, you can take it and you can apply a little tiny bit of pressure. You go, okay, that's tight, I'm going to hold it there. Move it around. Or you can do that other technique we were talking about, more like roll the entire muscle, kind of like a rolling pin if it were the foam roller. Like, okay, I'm just going to roll it down, roll it up. Or again, pinpoint and just kind of, you can be watching TV, apply a little pressure. So these videos are exploring technique. This really takes a long time to be effective. So that's why I said if you're watching some TV, that's a good time to be exploring myofascial release, doing some maintenance on your body, and bringing everything into balance. So that's a softball. I found this bad boy at Aldi for like $4. So it's got some beads on here that will roll along. So you could do really the same kind of concept. You can use your hands and apply some pressure. I found this to be helpful for the quads, for arms, which we'll get into later. So again, you don't want it to be painful, and you want to see some results. You want to feel your muscle relaxing. You're applying some pressure. Not painful, not on your bones, your kneecap, your shin bone muscle. Get the sides over here. Okay. The other thing you might check out is called a stick massager. So it looks like a rolling pin with some beads around it. You can basically take that yourself. That's a great one for your quads, for your calves. But the idea is when you first start off with this stuff with your quads. I recommend doing something more manual with yourself. You can use your hands, you can control the pressure, because what I'm going to show you in a second is with the foam roller, you use a lot of your body weight on this, so it applies a lot more pressure, and it's very effective, but if you don't have that base level of pliability, it's going to just cause some pain and discomfort and be counterproductive. So once you feel confident, okay, I understand this concept, I've got some pliability, I know how to relax my muscles, you can use the foam roller for your quads. So with your quads, there's another area that you want to make sure you're hitting. It's called your IT band, your iliotibial band, and that runs basically the entire length from your tibia all the way up, runs kind of alongside and is part of that quad muscle group really, but it's not a muscle, it's called fascia. So when we say myofascial release, that's fascia. It's basically interwoven into your muscle. And it's going to feel different. You can find it, if you go along here, it's going to feel quite different from your muscle group. So you want to make sure that you're hitting that. This is a timely topic for me because I went for a run yesterday, and the impact, jog, run. It's like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit of tension in these bad boys today, so it's a good day for me to roll them out. So, foam rolling quads. We will start with the IT band actually. That's on the side here. So you want to make sure that you can hold yourself up, so you can use your leg, you can use your arms, but you have to completely relax this leg. And you can do the same kind of thing. You can apply the pinpoint pressure, or you can roll the entire length, like a rolling pin, not rolling onto any bones or joints. Okay, and for the quads, you can imagine same kind of deal. You hold yourself up. So even though you're holding yourself up, it's still fairly easy to apply a lot of pressure with the foam roller. So that's why I'm recommending this as step 2 rather than step 1. So once you understand the concept, getting your muscle to relax and working on some pliability, then you can work on the foam roller for the quads. So, just to recap, we talked about the tip of making sure you're not rolling over any muscles. Well, you're rolling over muscles, but you're not rolling over any joints or bones. You're not going to be getting a bone to relax. That just is what it is. You're just going to cause discomfort. Talked about the concept of kind of working your way into this, so not starting with a more advanced technique, but really just training whatever muscle group that you're working on to relax, and using whatever technique is more user-friendly for that before you get into something more advanced. So it's not necessarily the tool, it's really the area of the body. It kind of dictates where you start. So for the hamstrings, the foam roller is a good starting point. And for the quads, I would say something more manual, like a softball or a hand tool is more manual, and it's going to help you train your muscles to get where you need them to be. So next time for this series, we're going to be getting into your hips and your back for these kind of techniques. If you enjoy this, please give me a like on Facebook. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, retweet me, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.